guys, it's Shanna here at Check Her Joy. This time I'm reviewing Enchanted Inc. by Shanna Swendson. So yeah, after months of me putting this book on basically every list I have done, I have finally reread it so I can review it for you guys. Because I love you all so much and you should definitely check out this series. So this is book one in the Enchanted Inc. or Katie Chandler series. I have heard it both ways. So this book series is a mix between chick lit and fantasy, and it definitely reads more like a chick lit novel, so you should be prepared for that going into this. So the book series focuses on Katie Chandler. She comes from a small town in Texas where she has been helping run her family's feed store. Like they sell animal feed and farming supplies. And she gets to New York and tries to get a job in the business community, and she doesn't really fit in. When she gets to New York, almost immediately, she's seeing things that other people aren't fazed by, and she doesn't quite get it, and she's about ready to pack it up and go home when this book starts. But Katie finds out that the reason why she's seeing things is that she's a magical immune, and this magic company, MSI Inc., Magic Spells and Illusions Inc., wants her to come work for them because she can't be influenced by magic. And she's kind of hurt by this at first, and then she realizes it's kind of really, really cool and important. To fully describe Katie's magical immunity, I'm just going to read it from the book because she describes it to another character, and I think that it's brilliantly done. Have you ever considered the possibility that you really are seeing people with wings? Or that you've really seen elves and gnomes around town? Or that gargoyles come and go from churches and buildings? Or that some people seem to be able to flick their wrists and get whatever they need? I'm as unmagical as you can get, to the point that magic doesn't work on me. And you're the same way. That's why you see the things you do. Most people have just enough magic in them to be influenced by it. They don't see weird things because the magical people have ways of masking them, so they look normal. But we see the illusions, we see the truth, we see the wings and the ears and the results of spells. So because Katie can see through the spells that wizards are trying to cast, she's really valuable to this magic company. She can see things like clauses people are trying to sneak into contracts and be like, because they try to trick each other and be like, hey, you guys agreed to something, but you didn't mean to. And Katie can see the contract as it's actually laid out. And she can see people who are trying to be invisible, or can see when somebody is trying to look like somebody else. She can see what they actually, their real selves, and it's really cool. And I love this take on magic because normally when we have a fantasy novel, the main character is like a wizard or something. And Katie's superpower is that she's completely normal. And I love the fact that this world is kind of so different. And it all takes place within this company. So they have meetings and they're trying to sell magical spells. That's what the company does. They develop, fine tune, and then sell spells to the community at large. So the main conflict in this book, because it's set in a magical kind of business world, is not like some dark wizard who's trying to enslave all of humanity. It's this rogue employee who was fired for creating spells that can do harm. And he's now trying to start his own magical company to sell these spells. And they're trying to stop him. Because there's so many people in the world who don't know that magic exists. And they're kind of just victims. They're just so many normal people who would end up being victims of spells, being forced to do things against their will or having things done to them and not knowing what's going on. So the company's trying to figure out how to stop this rogue wizard. And so Katie, with all her small town business sense and common sense and the fact that she's completely normal, ends up playing this big role in how this company ends up defeating this guy. And I love it. I love the way that so I love this this is not like a normal. I love the fact that this book is kind of not normal fantasy. It works a little bit different. The book is really funny, and I love the humor in this. I love the way that Katie sees everything. I love Katie as a character. She is from Texas and does things like baking is her big release. She loves to bake. And I love her small town way of seeing things, and she has such common sense, and nobody else seems to have that. Like, there are all these wizards and they can just like snap their fingers and get whatever they want, versus Katie, who has to like go the long route to do things. And I like that, and I like the way that she just the way she sees the world is really awesome and amazing. And I love that. The book does have a lovely romantic interest going on here. One of the wizards at the company works in research and development. His name is Owen, and he's like this really powerful wizard who is also really, really shy, and he's like very bookish, and he's constantly reading these old tombs that are written in like ancient Greek and Latin and stuff. And I love Owen, and he's so shy that he blushes like all the time at like everything, and he can like entirely communicate like and it's weird because everybody's like, oh, we don't know what Owen's thinking, and Katie can look at him and be like, oh, I can tell exactly what he's thinking by the shade of his blushing and stuff. And I love that. So they have this like not this this thing going on between them that's not really going anywhere because they're both too shy and proper to kind of act on it, but like it's there. And then Katie's trying to date like other people in this world while she's still hung up on Owen, and I love this part of this book. So I love the romantic aspect of this book. Um, what else is not a spoiler? I love the way that the world works, and she works with. I love the way that like magic functions within this world, and she is working with gnomes and wizards, and there's one scene where she goes out drinking with people from work, and she makes some offhand comments about like you have if you kiss enough frogs you'll find a prince, and they're like, that's a great idea. So they go to Central Park and are kissing frogs trying to find the perfect guy, and Katie's like, guys, this is really weird, right? Like, we're gonna get arrested for molesting frogs. Katie's common sense and like desire to actually be helpful, because there's a lot of people in this community. There are a lot of other immunes who work for the company who are as verifiers who are just like, do the minimum amount of work. Like we're gonna go on a sales call and look for stuff and just tell them what you see and don't interpret it, and that's not our job. And Katie's like, no, but I have a brain and I can think things through, and like I have enough business experience to know what's off. And she becomes really valuable to the company because she's willing to actually put effort into her job, which is crazy. And because this company like has magic and they can operate like just do anything they want, kind of like clicking their fingers, that they miss a lot of things. Like they don't really have a marketing department because there isn't really competition. So like this magic company has been around for like centuries, and all the wizards trust them and know that they're like the best place to go to get their magic spell needs. So they have like smaller operations happening where people are like selling their own homemade potions and stuff, and no other like big corporations. So they don't have a marketing department. So Katie like comes in and helps them develop a marketing department. So like the way they fight this evil wizard is through marketing, and I love the way that everything is just I love the way this world works, and it's not just like there's no like click your fingers and solve the problem thing. Like it actually works within like the normal world. Like I could see this happening, like that there could actually be magic, and this is why we never see it. And I love little things like the fact that chocolate is a very good way to counteract the effects of bad magic, apparently, and strong sweet tea. I just love Katie as a character. Like, I feel like this would be me if I were stuck in this world. Like, she reacts like how I would react, and it's totally believable. And she can recognize, like, she sees things that are kind of weird and is just amused by them. Yeah, like there's no other way to respond to a gargoyle having a crush on you other than just being like, okay, yep, that happened today. Yeah, security guard likes me, except he's a gargoyle, so that's probably not going to work out. So I love the way that this world is developed and how it operates. So I love the fact that Katie goes to New York and feels so out of place, but it's when she starts working for a magic company, when anybody else would think this is so bizarre and crazy, that Katie finally feels like she fits in and feels like that's normal. Like working for a company where people can make coffee appear out of nothing um, is what's normal to her. So I love this book. I love the fact that like normal things happen within the society too. So like Owen and Rod, the guy from HR, they go out to a baseball game. Katie has like this thing where she's trying to keep it a secret where she's working from her roommates, but like she keeps running into the people from work with her roommates, like when they're at the bar or at a restaurant, and she tries to play it off as normal. And strange things keep happening to her. Like she goes on a date with another magical immune, and he's like freaking out, and she's like, "Do I tell him that's really a fairy, or do I just be polite and pretend that there's nothing over there?" I really love this series, guys. Definitely go check out Enchanted Inc., especially if you love magic and you love chick lit, because this is the perfect mix of the two. Um, yeah. Peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.